I'm Mel Stewart, and this is the SwimSwam podcast. Joining me today, we have a swim star that bounces SwimSwam traffic. Happens every time. We're talking about somebody who's delivered success in the pool, has Olympic hardware, Olympic silver medal, world championship gold medalist. Today we have Gabrielle Sims. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm talking to you because you've been in the media recently, and it's just this tiny little partnership you made. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Super tiny. So I just partnered up with Speedo, just announced that on the 23rd. Super exciting. I'm super excited. It's been a long time in the works, so I'm happy that it's finally announced.
There's something about having Speedo tech behind you when you're standing behind the block and you feel fortified, because it's already nerve-wracking as it is. Having a partnership like this, in an Olympic year, heading into an Olympic trials, how does it make you feel?
I'm super excited. Speedo, I've been swimming in their tech suits for the past couple of meets, and they've given me a lot more confidence than I have had. But that could have also been like more training and stuff. But I think that the suit has played a good part in this also.
Something that people might not think about when you're a young athlete and you've been on track, you've been achieving success since you were 16 years old, back with the Sandpipers. It's that, you dream big and you stand up on the world stage and you win hardware. But also there's this thing where you partner with Speedo, and that's another milestone.
I always thought it was like cool to see like pros that I always looked up to like in suits like this, and it's cool to be like that person now.
You are that person now. It's no, you are. There's we see at SwimSwam, we see where the audience is going. We see where the audience plays favorites. They like certain athletes who are exciting to watch, surprising, and they like to see them develop. And they're and that someone is you. You're definitely captured the spotlight. And on that note, you should drop your handles for TikTok and Instagram right here.
At Arabella Sims.
Are you familiar with the hashtag? And it's called Let Bella Sprint. Have you heard that hashtag before?
Of course I have.
we like to take credit for that hashtag, and it's just for your versatility. Coming out of the Sandpipers, no one doubts that you have an enormous base, and but you seem like when you get an opportunity to sprint, you do it. We're at World Trials this past year in the 100 free. Were you at 53? Were you at 53.7?
Yeah.
7th in the 100 free? Mm-hmm. Do you have to like stand up and advocate for yourself? I'm doing this. Or is this, what's happening behind the scenes when you get to sprint?
I think, I don't really know what goes through my head when I'm like about to sprint, but I think Coach Ron like made a deal with me, and he was like, if you make the team in the 4x1, like something will happen. And I was like, I was so close. I was like, gosh darn it, but it's okay. Like it wasn't like an event that I normally swim, so I didn't really have like too much of an expectation. But I enjoy sprinting a lot, and hopefully I do it more in these next couple of years.
Or are you trying to tell us something? Or are you letting us in on your lineup?
I'm not telling you guys anything.
Spoken like a pro, spoken like an athlete who is now a partner with Speedo. You're fully arrived. You've got it going on. But to your credit, you can do it. You can sprint fly. You can sprint free. You got the 200 free on lock. You've been pivotal in the 4x2 relay, and this is it. It feels like the Bella Sims wave is really gaining momentum going into this year, and it's got to feel good now that you're at the University of Florida. You're sparring with Caleb Dressel. Do you beat Caleb in practice? Another Speedo athlete?
Okay, so I rarely get to practice like with him because he's mostly in sprint group, and I'm in distance or mid distance majority of the time. But whenever we have like kick practices, we happen to be training partners. And we definitely get to like push each other in practice, and it's always fun. They always the boys always bring like a different like environment. At Sandpipers, there was only like 3 boys in our group, and so like having like this amount of teammates is definitely different, but they just have like, they bring in a certain energy, and it's like always super fun and makes you want to come to practice like a lot more, I guess. But being able to race Caleb is just like, it's like really funny because like he's really good at swimming, and like it's like I'm beating you in practice.
I was fishing. There's in the rumor mill. I've heard that you've taken him. I think Coleman mentioned that. It's like, yes, I think she might have gotten him in practice. But he's so I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but take us into your world a little bit. Did when you were like, hey, I want to make this partnership with Speedo? Did you talk to Caleb, or did it start previous to Florida?
Yeah, it started like probably I started talking to them. I actually don't know when we started talking to them, but like I was starting to like make my decision toward like closer to like world trials, like nationals. That was like when I was like, yeah, I'm going with Speedo, but they didn't want me to like start wearing their suit before worlds because like I was just comfortable with tier, and so they were like, we don't want to change anything yet, like we don't want you to like it's too soon. So I was like, okay, like that's smart, I guess. So we waited until after, but I didn't really talk to Caleb. I talked to Kieran more and Reagan about like Speedo stuff.
Very Speedo athletes. So I'm really leaning toward the information that I think that everybody wants to know. The Speedo shoots are legendary.
Yeah.
Speedo knows how to do it. It's a lot of fun, and it's they're great, creative, collaborative partners. Mm-hmm. I've seen some media, so I'm assuming you've done a shoot. Was it a full blown shoot, or did you just drop in? Was it quick? Take us inside that world. What's that?
The whole day. So after Golden Goggles, we were in LA, and just like the whole day after Golden Goggles, we had a shoot from 6 a.m. Like I think that's when I was like picked up from my hotel, and then it was all up until like 5 maybe. I have no clue. Like the sun was setting when I was done, and so it was like the whole entire day.
The media looks great. If you're listening right now, we're going to be, I'm sorry for you. You should have dropped down on the video because we're showing some B-roll right now. Bella at her shoot, at the Speedo shoot, they are pretty epic. They're cool. Speedo, the one thing that Speedo does, I don't know if you've noticed this, you might be too young. I'm an old Olympian. I was a Speedo athlete 30 years ago.
Wow.
A proud Speedo athlete, for a very long time back in the 1990s. But it's, if you watch the sport of swimming, it's typically not governing bodies. It's typically not the leadership and the creative push forward and how the sport develops often comes through Speedo. Speedo is such a big global player, and they tell the story of the sport really well. And you see that in the media that they create, and they've always been innovative. So we love collaborating with them. I hope you have too.
I've enjoyed it a lot.
More to come?
So, yep.
No, it's like, when's the next shoot? We got to have the next shoot. How was the food on the shoot? Did they feed you well?
They did. Growing up as a kid, I used to always eat jicama, and I like stopped for like a little bit just because I don't know why. But they had jicama on the shoot, and now I just like it has like come back in my life, and now I eat jicama more often.
I'm a jicama fan. I'm glad that jicama could have a place on this podcast. If you're a jicama fan out there, hashtag Bella Sims loves jicama.
I do.
Hashtag let Bella sprint. We're going to start it right now. We've got to be precise because people have choices. But you are your laser racer Valor. Is that correct?
Yes.
And for you, what is it about the Valor? It's just you're not intent. You're Valor. Why Valor?
So personally, I like a thinner suit, one that's like easy to breathe in, considering like the distances that I swim are very grueling. But and the Valor has like super breathable legs, and I'm like kind of tiny, like I'm 5'6", and like usually like one of the shortest people on like teams, and so like, but like my legs are like pretty large, and so they're super breathable on the legs and like easier to like do a flip turn or like things like that, and so it's like very comfortable for me to wear like in a race. So it really like spoke to me when I tried their suits on.
I like that. So if you're out there and you're considering Speedo tech, and you have the same swim profile as Bella, that's a good testimonial. I appreciate that. In terms of in leaning on your Speedo peers, Karen, Reagan, did they talk to you about, hey, you know, this is what I wear and this is why I wear it? Or is this something fully your experience in wearing the tech?
Well, I did get like Reagan's insight in it for like a little bit, but she wears the Intent, so it was like a little different. But I did have to like try them on for myself just to like see, because you never know. So
all right, we're winding down here, so I have to ask the question, which I know that Coleman's already covered this ground, but it's I'm still coming back to that hashtag Let Bella Sprint. But in the University of Florida environment, do you feel like the sprint power is being developed more, and how does that compare to sandpipers?
Okay, well, yes, we definitely do more power work here at the University of Florida. I do it like every Tuesday and Thursday, like power racks and stuff like that. And not like every Friday, but like almost probably like every other Friday maybe or something. We do like pulleys, or like stretch cord, whatever you guys call it. And I never really, I mean, like I did that back home, but maybe like once a week, twice a week if he was feeling funky. But I feel like we do that a lot more. Plus I like lift every day or like every other day, and then like dry land in between. But since it's closer to championship season, I've been lifting like 4 times a week.
You're going to have a long taper. You're going to have a longer taper than you've had in the past.
Yeah, more muscle.
That makes you sad, doesn't it? Wait a minute. What is a Bella Sims taper look like? At Sandpipers, what was it? Did you go full bore and then like rest for 3 days, or you know, I don't know. I'm guessing.
I don't even know what taper is. Just kidding. I don't really know. Coach Ron used to tell me that like for 6 weeks out, we would go down like yardage just like the tiniest bit and like progressively get like lower. But it was more rest. Like we would get like, we wouldn't have like doubles every day. Like we would like get Sunday off, like things like that. So it was different, and he had a plan, so I just trusted it.
For those listening, her taper was getting Sundays off. That sounds brutal. That is brutal. Well, I have high hopes for you coming up on SECs, NC2As. This is a big year. And I hope that you get to, you know, you're gonna get a Florida Gators taper, and you're gonna you know, get your legs underneath you and kind of feel what that's like, and you'll know what that experience is like heading into trials. I feel personally like I'm on a 4x2 algorithm. It's looping. I was on the 4x2 at the Olympics. I won bronze, you won a silver, so you're better than I am. But I also was the short person on the relay.
Really?
And I felt like I had to bring it. And you've always been versatile on that relay. And we have a titan of a team down in Australia that we've got to face off against. Mm-hmm. Is that keeping you up at night? Knowing that Team USA has got to go up against the Australians.
The Australians would never keep me up at night.
Perfect answer. All right.
I didn't want them to think that they did.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and we look forward to your Speedo journey and your new Speedo tech. And please keep us posted as you go forward.
Of course.